You have entered the Chronic's rabbit hole. And Julie, thank you so much for your Patreon membership request. You are bringing something new down the rabbit hole called Cattle Decapitation. And the song is a Photic Doom.
Thank you so much, Julie. I'm looking forward to see what Cattle Decapitation is all about.
Apparently it's heavy.
Thank you so much, Julie, for bringing Cattle Decapitation down the rabbit hole for the very first time. I have heard about this band. I have never seen them or listened to them. I think I've actually avoided them, if I'm going to be honest. Simply because I've been not sure about the title of the band.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited that you're bringing them down the rabbit hole, giving us a chance to listen to them and see what they're about. You did let us know that this is a heavy band, not as heavy as Spite. So let's see where Photic Doom takes us with Cattle Decapitation. And if you guys like what you see with this video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a new song coming down the rabbit hole.
Keep the kids away from this one, Julie has said. We kind of looked up a little bit of what Cattle Decapitation was about, and they're apparently pushing up about how humans are putting humans and the earth into an apocalyptic state. So we're excited to see how they bring this out to light. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Woo. Okay, that's a perfect spot to kind of pause it at because it comes in so damn heavy. Like, holy crap, the drummer's going nuts, but like it's actually sounding good. He has already two distinct types of vocal styles that he's singing. When he's like, he started talking about like the dark stuff that they're doing in the shadows and how the light, when it exposes them, it's gonna burn them if you just see what they're really doing in the darkness. So that's kind of what I was getting, because like they're all playing in the dark, the light shines in, they're starting to burn because that's what they deserve if you see what they're actually doing outside of the darkness.
Absolutely. Because what they show us of like what's happening in the world and what humans are doing on a surface level is nothing compared to what's happening in the shadows.
Well, yeah, like a perfect example is this phone here. It's beautiful. We love it. But if you know what happens to produce it for us at these cheap prices.
You know about the lithium mines and everything for batteries and how they're getting the electronics and how all these other things are happening just to be able to get, like, yay, electric cars, low emissions, awesome. How are you getting your battery for that electric car? Where are they mining it? Who's mining it? What labor is going into it so that you can have a $30,000 Tesla?
Yeah,
right?
And the name of the band, Cattle Decapitation, obviously there's a bunch of things going wrong with how they're butchering all these animals around the world too in the inhumane ways. Absolutely. And so on and so forth. So this is already nuts.
It is. I also just want to comment quickly. The the drummer is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely amazing. I'm loving what he's putting through, and just with that double bass right off the bat was just insane. It gets your heart rate pumping and going. The singer, with his range, his vocals are phenomenal. He does a lot of, I don't know how to explain it, but I guess like tongue work. He's sticking his tongue out a lot.
Little raspy twangies. Yeah.
And what's really interesting is when they did that, like that rest beat, that pause, he like stuck his tongue out and hit him to the side like he was dead.
Right.
Like he's like, eh.
Yeah.
Which was really interesting to go along with what they're singing about and going into that darkness, into those shadows, and the sun that burns you. And the thing is, with what they talk about, like especially with like climate change and everything else going on, is how like there are even places on the world that have acid rain. There are places in the world where the sun will burn you instantly, just because of things that have been changing and becoming more deadly just to the planet and to people itself. So it's really interesting what they're putting through, and everyone in this band is phenomenal.
Very Doom-like so far. This is actually really incredible. That breakdown, that abrupt stop right into leading up into that incredibly melodic guitar solo, which needed to be melodic at that point. It couldn't have been a thrashy one. It would have been too much in my opinion. So that was a perfect control, but you could feel every note on that solo, right?
Absolutely. I loved what they did there musically, like with that guitar solo, and then leading up into it, because they had that stop and they had the bassist come in.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. And then the singer did this really low, deep, just a hum almost with his voice. And he did that a couple times, just kind of, I can't even remember now if he got lower or heavier, but then he stopped it with the melodic came in, and then it was like the solo, and then the drums and the guitarist went in together to bring it back up. But it was so perfectly timed, of all the correct motions.
Flawless transitions
transitions. And it's that
wasn't expecting it from them like that.
I wasn't expecting that, and that just shows how much control and range and just genius that they have on their part to be able to write such beautiful, soft music in that because that was soft that transition.
Sure it was.
And then to get back into that heavy, so it was almost like it gave you that break, it gave you that moment to breathe. And to appreciate that hardness, because there is the light with the shadow, etc., so forth.
Which they have perfectly.
perfectly.
Yeah. Well said.
Travis Ryan.
Wow.
That was amazing. Right at the end, before he went into that spoken word part, he actually had it overlaid with his clean vocals.
Want to spend more time?
Right.
On and his growl on top of each other, and it was amazing. Like, it sounded so good.
Yeah, that ending part was like, that was the first time I was starting to get a little creeped out, even too, with their cinematography and like, wow, just those eyes that he had with the blood coming out of his mouth, and like I almost thought I heard Lucifer in the lyrics and
He
like
did.
hiding behind
He
him.
said,
And
Master Lucifer hiding within the shadows.
yeah,
That was the lyric that
hiding
pulled
behind his
me, and I was
light.
like, ooh.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like there's two lights, y'all. There's a light and a light bearer. So they're different. But anyways, the music itself, what a treat. What a bloody treat that no one, if they heard Cattle Decapitation, I think would put those two together to have that brilliance. And that's what you're saying. It's like, I don't know if I would have checked this out without your help, Julie. And because maybe we would have been a little afraid to check it out because we didn't think it would have this much range and emotion and just complete badassness, because that was heavy. And like I just wanted to rock out those guitar riffs the whole time. That amazing solo and the breakdown that they had at the end there, just that drummer was really standing out for me too.
Absolutely. The drummer was phenomenal. They were the singer. I love a good singer. You know
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
I love a good singer.
Damn.
And his vocals were impeccable.
Yeah.
Absolutely impeccable. His entirety of his range of being able to do the growl and then the scream, having the clean vocals overlaying,
Yeah.
was just, his ability is amazing. I've never seen anyone, I don't know any other word to explain it other than tongue work.
That was
But
like a
I've
raspy,
never-
like snake-like
Yeah.
growl talk.
But like, for him to be growling like that while sticking his tongue out is, I don't know, because I actually don't know the mechanics to how to correctly growl. So that was just visually, it was odd. It was odd visually, but it did really well. I typically don't like gore either.
Mhm.
I'm not a gore person, but this actually wasn't too much for me. And I
Yeah.
thought that they did it in a very correct way with the burning of the flesh.
And because they're openly talking about it in the lyrics too, so then when
Yeah.
you started seeing it happening, it wasn't as shocking.
Absolutely, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
And it was but this was done so well, as like the cinematography of it, but the music. I would not have expected this from a band called Cattle Decapitation.
Yeah, of
I
course.
thought it would have been way more gory. I thought it would have been
more
a
spite.
lot more spite-like,
Yeah.
even spiteful, to use the word correctly.
Yeah.
And so this was very interesting, and I loved how he said Master Lucifer hiding in the shadows of his light, hiding
Yeah.
in that darkness. Because growing up in Sunday school for myself, we were always told that because Lucifer, morning star, is the morning star, the light bearer. So he is the most beautiful angel and was the most beautiful angel. And that's how he would be so entrapping. And so...
Yeah, he masquerades as an
'cause-
angel of light.
yeah, exactly. He was the most beautiful. And so you would get his light would shine down and you would go towards him. This is at least what they would teach us.
Mhm.
And so it was interesting with that lyric, that in the shadows of Master Lucifer, the shadows of his darkness.
Right.
Because he is so blinding, but he still casts that shadow. And the shadow, like when you were talking about like the cell phone,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing, but the shadow that is behind it is the lithium mining, child slavery.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's like, just because like things are designed in the United States, like
Mhm.
Apple designs, they draw a picture in California and they send it off to be assembled in China to get things that are from third world countries that are doing these minings for like pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
And we don't see any of that, and it's not talked about.
Yeah.
So those shadows, the shadow of death, the shadow of Lucifer,
Mhm.
that's what really stood out to me. And I love how they put the song together to talk about those shadows of darkness
Yeah.
behind the beauty that we see on a day-to-day life. And I think that's something that people need to pay more attention to, because the things that people talk about openly about things that are happening in the world, even on a the destruction of the world in the sense of like carbon emissions and everything like that. That's a big topic in Canada, even though we have some of the lowest carbon emissions out of countries in the world. It's such a huge conversation, but then nobody's looking at the shadows.
Well, it's a double-edged sword with all this technology that's being brought out. Like, obviously, the splitting of atoms was an incredible thing. It created energy and all that, but it created the atomic bomb, y'all. And that's what creates the most shadow. It's the world destroyer. So, like...
It's greed. It's the greed.
Yeah, and, because, like, that's what Satan attacks us, Lucifer. And he masquerades as an angel of light so that you think you're doing the good with all this technology. And it's just incredible that... I like how they fully committed to the end there when he went in all black and his eyes completely flipped almost like angelic-like, and then he was just spitting the blood, because that's really what it is. It's death that's coming out of those words, right?
And for me, when I saw that image with his eyes, it was the blinding. You're blind.
You're getting blind, yeah.
You're blinded by it because you have no pupil. You're not, or the iris. You're blind-eyed.
Yeah.
You're not able to see the destruction that is happening in the shadows, and you're just spitting blood and spewing out that vial because you're falling for the lies.
Yep.
You're falling for the light, and the light blinded you so intently that now you can't see that you're covered in blood and spewing out this vial, this
right?
This tar.
Yeah.
And that's what I was seeing when I saw him like that, and then in the pose of death, that vampiric.
Yeah.
Right, and
incredible, right?
It was incredible. I absolutely loved this band. I loved everything they put through. Singer is phenomenal. The drummer is phenomenal. The guitarist is just top notch, and the bassist stood out for me. And we've talked a lot about bassists and how a lot of times the bassist doesn't stand out because they do their job so well with keeping the rhythm and keeping that timing. But this bassist had that little mini bass solo right in that transition, so he was able to punch through that wall in a sense.
And once you hear it, you can kind of hear it better too.
Oh yeah, once you hear it, you can't unhear it.
Exactly, right?
So this...
incredible band. We weren't expecting this, to be truly honest, and that's the good thing about these reactions is like you're really seeing our first time reaction to this. So Julie, thank you for warning us it would be a little heavier to not bring the kids to this one, because I do agree it maybe is a bit gory for some kids, but at the end of the day it's a topic that I think is worth talking about, and you can see why these guys are creating conversations outside of just their music about the world state itself. Pretty doomy there, but we hope you guys are not having a doomy day and you're having a good time with us as well. Hit that like button if you had a good time with us. If you want to see more cattle decapitation, let us know in the comments below, and subscribe if you are new to the channel, because we got a lot of new things coming down. Hope you guys are having a great time though. We are exiting the rabbit hole now, folks.
Thank you so much, Julie. This was phenomenal. Peace and love, everyone.
God bless you.
Take care, and bye for now.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Enter the Chronicness.
Special thanks to all of our YouTube, Patreon, and Buy Me a Coffee members. Thank you for all of your support.